Let's just hope that YouTube didn't change the stream key, which they didn't. Yay!
Let's see if the internet's any better. So I've doubled the speed. Nope, in the bread, so I'll lower it again. Back to 25. Nope, still a little bit too high. 21. There we go, nice and green. Alright, so Stuart, if you want to say some nice words so I can test our audio, because I can't test our audio until after we're already live, because it's a bit dumb.
Some nice words like joy and happiness.
Although I've got to get through the ad first on my phone, so I'm going to keep talking as to not... Okay, now there you go.
You're still using the old thumbnail that's spelt wrong, by the way. You should probably change that. Just saying. Fix it. Oh, you didn't change it on your end. I changed it on my end. Oh.
Yeah, so you didn't give me that, so... I mean... Oh, ant thing. Well, send it now on Facebook and I'll swap it.
Well, that's like work and stuff.
Well, you didn't send it to me, so... That's all I had.
Well,
did you guys like my animation render? I was like, what do I make something that's kind of a something? And I was like, I'll just do this. You never normally see. Then we'll see this fleet attacking, so I thought, hey, why not? Why not? And I thought that D7 model looked, Katinga, well, Kronos 1 model looked rather nice.
Yes, indeed. All right, so let me...
And yeah, your audio was... You were actually about synced up after I made the original tweak. So OBS did not lie this time.
Thank you, OBS.
It's a Christmas miracle. Okay.
Yes.
So there you go. My thumbnail. Great.
Now... Yeah. We got 2 super chats already right off the hop, so that's awesome. And guys, redirect the conversation in this one. As the title says, we want to talk about pretty much anything except for Picard. So, what your super chat is what we'll talk about.
I have a couple of Trek things, but yeah, we're here again. This is our post the P word live. We're back. We had a short break, and yeah, hopefully you guys have 180 people watching, and yeah.
Yeah. So first super chat is Ozzy. Admiral Ozzy. He says, "Hi, Admiral, from the Admiral Skeleton Hands." She just laughed, so it's fine. And Spino Breaker, even though it's still Spino Breaker. Sorry, but it is. Puts in $5 Australian. Mr. CBS calls you and says, "You can cross Star Trek over with any other show on the air at the moment. We will sort out the legal side. What is it, and what's the story?" It would be Stranger Things. And the Demigorgons are actually invading from another dimension, which is the Upside Down, which is another, I like it. It's kind of like Species 8472, from fluidic space. They're coming from a different realm. There you go. And 7 or 11 will show up and fight with 7. Like together, it'll be 7-11. That's pretty good for just off the cuff, I think. I don't know.
I would, and obviously again, I'm just made me think about the spot. I would have Captain Harry Kim of the Rhode Island refit. He finds the secret to the spore drive long lost, and then tests it on his own ship, which brings him to the Orville universe, where him and his crew must try and get home. Unfortunately, the dimensional barriers have closed, and he must find the single way to get to his universe and their universe. And he bumps into a friendly neighborhood ship, which is in trouble, and they use their custom technology like transporters and such to help them get out of it. And then you have Harry Kim playing comedy because Garrett can play comedy, opposite Seth playing comedy. And then you have you'd have 2 other Naomi Warbin would make sense. Naomi Warbin. And she falls for what's her name? Alara's her replacement.
Alara. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Man. Don't know.
The security officer. So she falls for her and wow, you're the hottest alien I've ever met. Because why not? That'd be kind of fun. And then Bortus gets on with a Klingon, and you get exactly the scenes you expect. 2 Klingons standing solitary in the same room going, "This is unnecessary gathering. Yes, I agree. Would you like to go spar? To the death? No? Perfect. Good answer." And they go off and beat each other
Yours
up.
is better. Yours is better. All I got on mine was a 7-11.
Well, I had 30 seconds to decide. I knew Orville, so I had to work out how I do Orville. What do you guys think?
Good question, though. I like that.
That's good. Yeah.
Telma ML puts in $3.
Thank you.
So, about Picard, did you guys think that...
No! Stop! No!
Well, she made us say it, though.
Although, to double down on that, Colin S says, can you talk about why you don't want to talk about Picard? Because we made like 120 videos and like 60 lives.
Yes.
And talked for like 4,000 hours. We did that.
And then we still get comments. So what do you guys think of Picard? You should do reviews of it. And I'm like, seriously? Are you serious right now? You obviously don't pay attention. Shut up before I hit you with my skeleton hands. Slap the shit out of you. Sorry. Dom Casey puts in $2. What's a couple of your favorite starships? There's a lot.
I mean, the Stormbird, obviously. The Klingon D7. Avalon Universe. The
White Star from Babylon 5 is pretty
Horizon,
fantastic.
You know, all the Avalon Bird of Prey. You know, all the best ships. All the best ships. Because I design them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a lot of ones personally. Mm-hmm. We've the Constitution class, the refit, the Kobayashi Maru that Thomas Moroni did for Star Trek Online is pretty cool. Federation class, which is from the technical manual. I like dreadnoughts, like 3 nacelled ships. And
speaking of Star Trek Online, it's amazing how when you look through some of their like back catalogue, they made some incredibly interesting designs. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've played a lot of video games, and a lot of their qualities vary. But Stove, I would say, I don't know if you would back me up on this, Stuart, like per amount they've done, like percentage-wise, they have more excellent ships than any other game ever. Like more, but I mean, I would say they have more of an average of, wow, that was really quite good than most games would do.
Absolutely. And not only just because there's such a wide variety, but because you can customize them in multiple ways as well. So there's so many possibilities there.
I watched a great live stream where they introduced... So they do great live streams. They introduced one of the Discovery random third-party ships. And so they showed it off in the vanilla. Great. And then one of the people said, what would it like to put the refit skin on? And all of them were like, oh, that's so much better. And it's like... Yeah, because it changed the colours, it changed the whole thing, and it's like, doesn't take much. Mm-hmm. And that would almost be a fun sub show. We could go in and like take some of the famous ships and change the colour palette to stone and see, well, how would Discovery Enterprise look if you do a complete? Because they've done. I mean, I know Thomas Moroni even did like designed their refit style era material palette, and it's like he's really proud of that, as he should be. That'd almost be kind of fun. Like, what would they look like if they were?
Well,
sorry.
I was going to say, well, I mean, the colors make a huge difference. Just changing the color of the JJ or the Ryan Church, JJ Enterprise.
Yeah.
So the color palette speaks volumes right away. So.
Well, I mean, Bessards to red. I'm seeing a lot of super chats, which is super good because we didn't know what our reaction was going to be. So I'm going to start sharing while you start reading, so I can't talk and you can talk.
Okay.
But thanks in advance, everyone. I'm just going to share for everyone else. Bye.
Yeah, he's gone, guys. Jeff Jacobs, $2.50. So fast. Nice. Again at 100 at least. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 137 of you here. We should have no problem getting to 100 likes. Make sure you've hit that like button. I really say that a lot, don't I? And this one is super chat driven, if possible. It's kind of your time for us to talk about whatever you'd like. So if you want to put in a suggestion, we will definitely have to read it and talk about it. So, well, I'm glad you guys are happy we're back. A lot of people were wondering if we were done with our lives kind of just because we were gone for a week, but no, it's just kind of a cleansing the palate, Picard detox, you know. I tried to do a few lives on my own, and those were pretty fun. Got some interesting topics of discussion there as well. So looking forward to, you know, having Samuel here to interact with, and hearing his take on a lot of things. So you guys, it's your call. You tell us what we're going to talk about. So now getting back to the super chats, we got Captain Ron Phillips with $2. Opinions of new Khitomer cruiser on Star Trek Online. I'm not up on all the latest designs, so let me go take a look.
And the Khitomer cruiser is that weird one where it's a combination of Klingon and Romulan, Klingon and Federation. It's kind of their fun little hybrid. It's good. It's. I think they knew to craft it to kind of be making sense as much as possible. It's a bit weird, but actually thought through, as opposed to kind of slapped together as it might have been in other shows. So I give them credit for that.
Oh, yes, it's very cool. I really like that, actually. I had seen that in passing, and I was wondering what it was, but that is really kind of neat. I've seen a lot of kit bashes over the years because model makers tend to like to do that kind of thing. And I've seen ones that are basically that. It's an Enterprise saucer with like the D7 secondary hull, and they can look really good. And that version of it is very impressive. So I am a fan of that for sure. So that's my take on it.
Cool.
The Starship Mango puts in £2. Hey, Captain and Commander from the Planetary Union.
We're just Orville.
Yeah. I miss Orville. I've kind of been about it lately. I need to see more. So
it was definitely a more creative show than any of the 3 seasons of Star Trek we just got. Said creative.
Rambling Rattlesnake, though, in the chat says, Trekyards, could you guys do an episode on the final version of the Ambassador class?
Let me Google.
Be sure we have.
Ambassador class, 4 years ago, episode 83, mission briefing, released December 2nd, 2015. Also, Ambassador class prototype with Andrew Probert, February 6th, 2016. But I was thinking actually today about revisiting that one, because now I've got to buy some model we can do. Overlook. But it's hard to get a really accurate version of the Ambassador, the main one, because you want it to be accurate. Otherwise, what's the point? Like, most models miss the impulse engine and stuff, so it's kind of like to do that one right, you've got to actually get a right one. And yes, even if some of the fan models aren't right, as in the real models aren't right using some of the shows, they were still from the shows, which means they are right in that context of, well, that's the ones we saw in DS9 sort of thing. So you can kind of get rid of it a little bit there.
So yeah, guys, I've told people this a lot because I get comments all the time.
Yeah.
Have you done this? And I'll send them the link right away, because all you have to do is in YouTube just type in Trekyards and then whatever you're looking for, and it'll pop up.
Yep.
Because somebody today on the post for this actually said, have you guys done a top 10 on Star Trek video games? So I sent a link to our top 10 modded Star Trek games and our top 10 unmodded Star Trek games, because we've done both of those. So yes, just Trekyards and whatever you're looking up in the search bar on YouTube will give you the results you need. If you don't find anything, then we might have touched on it and not key tagged it properly. But generally we put the tags in and take care of that for you guys. So
it's fair to say we've done a few things.
It's been a long time. Jonathan Erdman, though, $20. That is awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hope you are all staying safe. Just like the captain said, we want to see Starfleet. Please give us a show about that. What time period or story would you both prefer for a new take? Thank you both. I've talked about this a lot. I like the Lost era, kind of between the movies and TNG. There's a lot you can do there. We've seen the Ambassador class. That's basically it. So even you can't really mess up canon too much in that time frame, because it's a lead up to TNG, which is a totally radical design departure from what we saw in the movies. So there's a lot of, it's like 50, 60 years gap there. So,
and in fact, you could say it was on a prototype ship with all the it was an advanced prototype whereby they have more advanced, like more greebly hull, more greebly interiors, and that was a failed experiment over the 3 seasons of the show, which then leads to the more simplified, clean look of TNG. They realized we don't want to have panel lines, we don't want to have all this complicated stuff. We just want to have a nice, clean and work environment because so yeah, you could easily do that. But honestly, the more I design the horizon for my fan film and stuff, the idea of this hyper long range explorer going outside of Federation space again, but like so far out that it's like a deliberate Voyager, and then obviously you tell interesting stories in that zone, obviously we still have our temporal story, which is still fun. But yeah, prequels are always hard unless they're made by someone that respects the canon. The Intermediate Darkly is a respectful prequel in essence.
Yeah.
If you had that team doing it, then any era would be fun. That's the problem. I mean, you definitely need a Romulan War miniseries, 6 episodes, 50 minutes each, 60 minutes each, and then a Mirror Universe movie. There's lots of stories you could tell. But because if you have a single story told of a certain number of episodes, it's not just like let's make 7 seasons in an era where there is no space to breathe. Whereas if you tell a story in an era, then you can kind of like use the majority of what you have and then extemporize a little bit around that. Let's build the Enterprise B, we'll build the Excelsior Bridge, but make all the L cars much thinner, smaller, more information. Oh, it's updated, but it looks the same. Easy.
Yeah. Well, we say it's easy, but everybody else seems to have an issue figuring that out. Becky Schultz in the chat says, really enjoyed your top 10 videos. And Jeff says he thinks that's what got him hooked here on our channel. Yeah, the top 10s were really fun to do. Totally different format. They're just more difficult for Samuel to edit and put together and more time consuming.
Well, they made like $7 for more time than a normal episode, so they were always lost leaders. They were fun, but things we did like 70. So I mean, we did most of the topics. I know we were kind of scratching hands a little bit.
Well, I had a pad full of stuff we still had to do, which is gone now. But we never got around to doing them.
But it's like with the main ships. Like the further you go, the less and less priority ones you get. We did a lot of amazing topics. And it'd be fun to. I think we talked about doing some lives, but with that again, would be fun.
Yeah, the top 10s in a live format would be nice.
And it's been years. I mean, I think after like 4 years, you'll have to redo a topic. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Olivia Julius throws in $10.
Hey.
So thank you very much. And it's going to end with hashtag Picard fertilizer. No, it doesn't. Sweet.
Well, you gave the shout out anyway, Stuart, so it's fine.
I know. I got her covered. Hello. Since I can't say anything about someone's farm implements, I got to ask about another odd piece or price of tech. I think you mean piece. What are your opinions about the Class 3 probe? Is it better than the Class 2 probe? Please tell. We got to do our research. Hold on. Go look that shit up.
Okay, Class 3 probe is unhelpful. Okay, but there's a fan thing. I mean...
Oh, there we go. Here it is. The Class 3 planetary probe.
It's much sleeker than a Class 2.
21st century. It's got a range of 1.2 by 10 to the whatever power kilometers.
Now let's see if I can...
Delta 5 limit is 0.65 C. Got a power plant, vectored deuterium microfusion propulsion. Just, it's pretty advanced. A little bit more advanced, more long range than the Class 2 probe.
I think you called her bluff there and went Trekyards on her.
Sensors have terrestrial sensor and gas giant pallets with material sample and return capacity, onboard chemical analysis modules. So, again, very cool.
And as a treat to the viewers, here is the original Class 2 probe from Voyager. Here's a 3D model in HD.
And I'll continue reading the information here. There's not much more. Telemetry, 13,250 channels at 15 megawatts. It's pretty fantastic.
There you go. That's the original geometry from Voyager. What do you think, Stuart?
I don't know. I can't see yet. Hold on.
Okay.
And additional information, limited SIF hull reinforcements, full range of terrestrial soft landing and subsurface penetrator missions, gas giant atmospheric missions, survivable to 450 bar pressure. limited terrestrial loiter time. There you go. You asked. We delivered.
And what do you think of the 3D model from years and years ago?
It's very cool. The Class 2, it looks totally different than the Class 3. Class 2's got kind of a bulbous front end. The Class 3's a little sleeker.
Class 2's torpedo, really.
Torpedo-ish, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. There you go.
I like Class 2 better. It's got more character to it.
Oh, see ya. The Voth City ship versus 3 Borg cubes. What would win?
Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe City ship. That's my gut reaction, I'll be honest.
That was my gut reaction too, but then you got to think 3 Borg cubes, Borg.
But the thing is, they would know how to defeat a Borg cube after the first one, and could they adapt quick enough if their weapons are that powerful? Because the thing's longer than Borg cubes by quite a lot. I mean, you can
but it's not. Size doesn't always matter, Samuel. Thought you'd know that by now. Moving right along. Mark Gummerson, $5. Have either of you read the current Year 5 comic series? If so, what do you think? I've read like 1 or 2 issues, but I mean, I really enjoy them. I really think like returning to the TOS form is really fun. And I've been getting, from what I've seen, I've enjoyed. I want to read more of them, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So,
I've not, but I looked at a lot of comics for our comic episode prep stuff. But I've never really been into comics. Like, I don't personally, and I've had some options to buy comics years ago. But for me, spending £10 on like a 13-page thing that I'll read once never made sense to me. So I never bought comics. It was just not worth it. Because I mean, I read through them. I remember the Cyberman versus Star Trek one. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, done. I mean,
well, back in the day, they were like 25 cents.
Yeah.
So that's when the collecting, sure there were,
Yeah.
It's a different time, but still.
Yeah, so, and, we had so much money when I was young. And I don't think there's many comic book stores, not in the same way where I was. But, I mean, they've had some great ships. We've done a ton of really cool stuff. I prepped another one for you today's show that we're going to do sometime later on this week.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mark. Hope that answers that question. And Mark Gummerson, we met him in Ticonderoga, him and his brother. If you remember them. But thank you, Mark, for showing up. Nice to see you again.
Hi,
a picture with you and your brother. Dan23, £5. Thank you very much, Dan. What do you think about the Miranda with the triangular pod, DS9, and the thing on top of the USS Phoenix in TNG? What do they do? Well, the different pod attachments, like even with the Nebula, there's different pods you can attach. There's a medical one, which is more for medical rescue. It's kind of like hospital rooms and stuff in there. There's also sensor pallet ones, weapons ones, and then ones for fleet operations. Basically like a giant AWACS radar, just surveys the battlefield kind of thing. So there's different attachments for those kind of pods. So they're swappable.
And in fact, I know exactly what if I had an image of that, so I'm going to bring it up.
I know you did. So I was buying time while you were looking.
You're like, oh, his brain has gone zoomy.
Yeah.
I actually do think and it might seem weird, I think the triangle pod is actually one of the better ones.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Somehow it just kind of has a certain vibe that the other ones don't have, and by having it's all just kit bashy stuff. It's pretty easy stuff, and Eagle Moss has certainly milked the Mirandas to within an inch of their life, but it does help the framing offset by having that other shape. Although this model, I don't get any sense of what it actually means to have that pod. I know what the pod is in the Nebula. It's a weapons pod. That is definitely a weapons pod. It's not the Circle AWAC. I don't know what it's trying to be. I thought it'd be thicker than that and more of a,
It could be a sensor palette thing. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it's just if it's. Yeah, it doesn't look like a weapons pod or anything like that.
But I do like the base shape. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they're interchangeable and you can swap them out as per the mission, I think is a really cool idea. So. Fat Produce puts in $2.
Thank you.
Where did that go? There we go. I love the Omega class destroyer from B5. I'll have to look that up because I'm not sure what that one is.
Hold on,
So, yeah.
I'll find it.
What's that?
Hold on, I'll find it. Just look at the live.
I'm gonna look it up. I have my own computer.
Do you though? I beat. Well, yeah, because I beat you. Yeah, because you're on it. No, I like it. Although I still find it funny that it's the shameless nicking of the 2010 ship. They admitted it. They liked it. They used it, and it's like, yep, it's like 75% that exact design. But once you ignore
Sirocco?
Yeah.
The Sulaco?
No, from Space 2010.
Oh, 2010 is the year we made contact. Or something different.
Yeah, that ship. Where was in that ship? The one that has spinning. I think it's actually an improvement from that design, but it's well, you like 2010. The movie.
I do.
Yeah, it's the ship from that.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, Sulaco's from Alien. What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
And
then the chat on the
I
show will tell us.
I think it's all right. I do like the realism of it with the gravity generating spinning thing.
Leonov.
But the Leonov, that's it. I knew it was Russian. Yeah, I really like it. Again, it feels very real world, and that's something that's really kind of neat.
I think it's better than some of its parts because it is such a basic, simple thing. But when you see it in motion, it kind of has a good thing.
It's got a length of 1,714.3 meters.
Yeah, that one's hard to. It changes a little bit. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It has numerous varying styles. I'll say that.
Yeah, we run across that a lot with what we do. Different lengths and conflicting information. So.
But I like it. It's simple and it's effective, and I think if it didn't have that under point of the sort of chin, if it didn't have that, I think I wouldn't like it. But that single shape to get this nice strong feel saves it.
And antennas everywhere. And
yet not a signal to drink.
I never complain about signals out or antennas everywhere, do I? Taurus 69, $5.
Thank you.
Who are your favorite DS9 regular characters and favorite recurring character? My choice is Colonel Kira and Garrick.
Colonel Kira.
DS9 is my favorite show. Regular character, Cisco for sure. I love Cisco. Recurring characters got a lot. Brunt, FCA. Lita, well, she's kind of not really a regular, but she kind of is. So, God, there's lots of good recurring characters in DS9.
I think I'll have to say Cisco, just because he gets a ton to do. Because I'm thinking of like Bashir, but then he ruins the character ruins when he becomes all cold and boring when he becomes Augment. He's great up until then. Like he's boring at the start, great in the middle, and then he loses all of his interestingness by the end. Weird. Engineer guy.
O'Brien.
He's always good, but I'm trying to think. He doesn't really excite me as a character. You know, always good, top 10, top 5, but never like you're trying to think major. Dax great, but then dies, and also is sometimes sidelined. So I think Cisco gets the most, and I'm gonna say Martok is my favorite recurring because he always was good. You know, and the fact that actor can basically lead an entire episode without any sort of he can come in and just he was and I've met JG a few times and we get on really well, and good vibes, Mr. Hertzler, good vibes.
And we did get a PayPal from Moosin, £2.
Thank you.
No comment on the one that I see there, though.
Well, thanks anyway.
PayPal's reviewing certain transactions. I think that's why. Okay, well, thank you. Let's see. Oh, also Damar. I love Damar. and Weyoun. Yeah, there's lots of great characters in DS9. That's one of the reasons it's my favorite series.
I would say which Weyoun, but...
Well, they're all kind of great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I rewatched a clip to look at the CGI of the one where it's like basically the good Weyoun, the one Weyoun that goes rogue, and like just this, he brings depth to it. You know, I mean, obviously it's the writing as well. It really is that, you know. I mean, we watched some of the when we got to early TNG, and we were watching and thinking this could have been the TOS crew. And so clearly the stuff wasn't written to enhance the TNG characters. So when they're written medium, they don't give you anything, but they can still act it well. But when they're actually given something that really works with them, then the Act Plus script can just, like, I mean, you know, Darmok and Tanagra, I mean, you know, Patrick elevates all of that so well, you know?
Yeah. Let's see here. Spino Breaker puts in $5 Australian. Consider doing a short run reviewing older sci-fi series like Silver Sun, Avenue 5, or Hyperdrive. Short-lived and fun to see.
Avenue 5 is the new one. Well, that was a brand new one.
Avenue 5 is fun. I'm really enjoying Avenue 5. I got to catch up on the last few episodes, though. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
I mean, doing old reviews is tricky because we need to get a certain amount of money each one to make it worthwhile. And, you know, if the channel settles very well with TNG reviews, then maybe. But obviously we haven't got the same breadth of knowledge. You know, we can really analyse Trek. That might make the lives shorter and easier, but, you know, don't know.
Yeah. Fat Produce, $2. I wish modern Trek was under Seth MacFarlane's care. I think a lot of people do. Yeah, but now he's got Orville, so I don't know if, you know, that whole thing of him buying Star Trek, I think that was all just a made-up story.
Oh yeah, it didn't buy it for a second. I mean, it's not. No. It's not believable. Yeah, I mean, you know, he would have to. You know, he would have to know that Trek can't be comedic in the same way he'd want it to be. So you have to like make several shows. One is the serious one is the fun one. Because he would have to, you know what I mean? There isn't slapstick Trek. There isn't stupid Trek. At least not in the main sense. So, yeah. But the fact they brought so much heart to the comedy show Orville shows he can do drama. Just he likes to balance out with those sort of meta jokes and extra thought.
Quadricourse, $5.
Thank you.
So what you're saying, Samuel, is that the hull colors are important, and choosing the right colors can make a ship look much better. Winky face, Cerberus.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means, but...
Oh, it's you. Yes? Don't know if... Do we have hull color? Oh, you mean for the back plating? Okay. Easy to change, John. Easy to change.
Yeah, and colors are important. The Discovery, I think, would be better if it was the nice TOS white with red Bizarre collectors. It'd be like, oh, yeah. Okay.
I still want at some point do... I know I've said this so many times, but do a Discovery, but like just tweak it at 25% enough to make it canon. Sorry, 26%. You know, basically do the same ship again. Just like, these are all the changes you have to make it look right. You wouldn't have to do much. I know, would you guys be interested in watching that as an episode? You know, Trekyards thought through?
I would.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'd be involved, wouldn't I? Olivia Julius puts in $2.
Yeah.
I will never doubt Trekyard's powers again.
Wow.
Because of the probe thing, see?
Smart.
Yep. We are smart. We will make you go crazy. 197 people here. That is awesome. Guys, hit that like button. We're going to be doing three lives this week. Today, Wednesday, and Friday. And I think the next two are going to be TNG reviews. I'm not sure where we left off.
Troy seduces Picard is the next one. I don't remember the A or B plot, just that's the thumbnail I had, and I remember that.
That would be... We did QQ. Samaritan Snare?
Oh.
No, Up the Long Ladder. No, Manhunt.
Yes.
Yes, Manhunt. Not Troy. You said...
Sorry, I meant Loxana. Well, she is Loxana Troy.
Oh, well.
Technically, I was correct.
So yeah, Manhunt is next, and then the Emissary on Friday.
Wow, we really got to DS9 quick, didn't we? Jesus. Who's this
then Peak
guy?
Performance, and then Shades of Grey. We have 4 more left. So that's this week, and next week will be our TNG season 2 wrap up. Yeah. And then our next
oh my God,
weekend,
yeah.
next weekend we can do another drunk yards looking at season 2 wrap up.
That's true. I forgot all of it. Stuart, do you remember your reviews of Star Trek season? No, I don't remember any of my review scores. Great, let's talk about them. I said what?
Pretty much. So anyway, what I was saying,
I got a lot of ciders still. That sounds like a lot of fun.
What I was saying, there's 202 of you here now. So if you guys are interested in seeing our reviews for TNG, finishing that season 2 of TNG, please check us out Wednesday, Friday this week, and next week. I'm not sure what we'll be doing as far as lives, but
I gotta say,
we'll definitely have season 2 finished up by the end of next week.
I gotta say, I'm actually really proud of our review style. We're thorough, we're in depth, we discuss it, we're balanced. You know, it's not accidental. It comes 2 hours. That's just a very natural length. 1 hour 45 to 2 hours is very natural each time. I love doing them. They're really interesting. So I you guys have enjoyed them, but hopefully you guys will come back and enjoy them even more. And we get season 3, which I think most people argue is the best season. Although we've come up with some real treasures in season 2. And we're getting past the less good season 2 remaster back into the really crystal clear season 3 remaster. That I'm excited for. The thing.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Vir Invictus puts in $2. Has there been any hints to when Star Trek Discovery season 3 starts? The only hint I have is that they're advertising it on CTV Sci-Fi up here. It says coming soon, which generally means within 2-3 months. I don't think they'd be coming soon in the fall. So I kind of have hope that they have a release date. They just haven't announced it yet. So who knows? But that's what I have up here in Canada.
I mean, we saw what happened with Picard. Damn it. Sorry. It's a tertiary about Picard. Is that they announced the show when they weren't finished with VFX. And they were 10 weeks behind themselves. So when they got to the last episode, they were done that week. And
which shows.
Suffered massively. Discovery never looked that bad. They always were ahead of it for some reason in comparison. So I'm sure the virus has said they were going to announce something. Then the virus hit and they said, we can delay this. But if it takes them to delay it 2 months for reasons, and guess what, the VFX is finished all in one go, I'd rather have that. Because that was a shit show, that last episode, in terms of VFX quality. And they know it, and we know it.
And I've said in my lives that I did this week, I want them to fix it for the Blu-ray. I would love for the Blu-ray to have a varied fleet, more detail on the ships, because they have the time to do it for the Blu-ray release.
Well, Chabon even said, there were 3 ships, and they were different. No, there weren't. There was, as in they weren't that drastic. Yeah. I mean, the fact is, they can actually say, as a part of the promotion for the Blu-ray, extended season finale. All it is some more ship shots that were redone with maybe another bit of Riker, I'm sure, or Clancy as well. Maybe they can edit so both Riker and Clancy come in.
They should have had both of them, but yeah.
I mean, that I would not be happy to put that out, but I'm sure they're thinking, well, hey, we've done our job, we've finished season 3, and we're all like, but you sucked, and they're like, and you watched it, and we made the money, and it's like, yeah, but come on, pride. I mean, they never did that with DS9 and TNG and stuff, but when they made mistakes, it was for real reasons, not because of lack of time. Wouldn't take much. Especially the things in render layers, so you can easily just swap things out.
We're talking about Picard again.
I'm talking about ships and CGI.
That's a load of ship, and you know it.
And Frost UK says Neon Visual did it. Yes, he did. He did a new warp in, although I was looking and I was thinking, that's pretty good. There's only 3 sorts of ship, though. I still want to do
better, though.
It is. Oh, yeah, it is. I still want to do mine, but it's just an annoying thing to do. I still want to, if I'm going to do it, I have to fundraise for it, so that's like a thing to do, Because it would take a little while to do. I'll have to rebuild it, and be nice to. I have some Akira's, some Norway. I can roughly do my Norway and throw it in there. I was even thinking if I was going to do a new version of that finale, I would have the Horizon be Riker ship, because it looks new. And I'd have the
sheer fucking hubris.
There you go. but it looks new.
Will there be a Foley class in the back somewhere? Because it's an old ship. But, if you're going to put your ship in as the hero ship with Riker, you need to have my ship in there somewhere.
No, your ship is a relic that a warlord took and joined the battle on this side of the Federation. It's a relic.
Shut up. Speaking of, guys, look forward to a refit of the Foley coming soon. The refit era.
And once it's done, maybe we can do a whole miniseries on the Foley and the Horizons. We've got them. Almost. Your model.
Yes.
But I was thinking of having the Horizon be... Because also it's a good enough model that you can do that hero shot of, that it was missing. And then I'd also have the Archer class from Renegades, like, as the ships next to it, as the, again, advanced ships, and around them be the older ships. So you'd have two new ships, which would make you feel as if it was a new fleet, and then... Because I think lots of people would see it that weren't Trekyards fans that wouldn't know, and that would help raise the bar. But again, I need to fund that, because it's a bit of a thing.
We're moving right along with Super Chats. Mike Bravo puts in $2. Can we talk about Star Trek Cisco? That would be an awesome show. If they could build a show around Cisco coming back from the Celestial Temple with his time with the Prophets, that would be very, 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 very cool. However, Avery Brooks, I don't think would be on board for it. And I wouldn't want to recast Cisco. But as a comic book series or something, hell yeah. I would love to see a Star Trek Cisco series. That would be awesome.
He's been a god, though. I mean, you can't do anything after that that's interesting.
Him and Q. Well, he punched Q when he was immortal.
Sure.
Immortal,
that's
not
fun.
Immortal.
Okay, fine. Mini-series of him as basically the equivalent of a Q, and he gets to play intergalactic chess with a Q for some reason. Okay, that I'll have fun with, but... No, I think it'd have to be a prequel. It'd have to be during, I feel like a 6-episode miniseries during DS9 of like in the Dominion War, he does a secret mission that you never heard of, and it was just like it's a sequel to Into Pale Moonlight where he already made the wrong choice for the right, or the right choice for the wrong. That dilemma once. Can his conscience do it again? That story, and maybe even he has to like put on old man makeup, as in he looks older. Oh, we had to, digitally de-age him for the first scene, and then you get Bashir, because he looks really good still. He digitally de-age him, have him in uniform, and say, right, we're going to have to make you look older to fit in with this mission. Dump, So that I could imagine being quite clever, and you could have like a miniseries. But, I mean, nothing post-Prophet, I think that'd be boring, honestly. But so the DS9 doc post thing, I thought that was a bit naff. So, I don't know what you do post-DS9,
I think it could be kind of fun to have like a 6-episode miniseries of him coming back years later to see Jake and Jennifer. Oh, not Jennifer. What's her name?
Cassidy Yates.
Cassidy Yates. That's the one.
Oh, I was trying to say. Damn, I was trying to make a joke and say her Orville name, but I said her real name for real. Shit.
Good job.
Thank you.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. Hey. 200, easy peasy. So should 200. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 210 of you here, which is another time to reiterate that we're doing our 2 TNG reviews this week, Wednesday and Friday. So tune in for those, and then we'll be done season 2 by the end of the following week, which would be awesome. So if you guys loved our Picard reviews, tune back in for the TNG reviews if you missed them. We've got a lot of new viewers because of Picard, so you might have missed them. Go back and watch our TNG reviews. We cover them in the same fashion we did Picard, and you might be wanting to come back. So anyway, 204 of you here. Hit the like button. Let's get up to 150 likes. We can do that, at least. So saith me. Olivia Julius, $2. Stuart, have you watched Firefly yet? In some reality, some realm somewhere, yes.
See,
like I said, I own it on Blu-ray. This house, that and Serenity, I have not watched it yet.
A good review series. It's only 14 hours. That would be an easy one.
There you go. It's something we might do at some point.
So, we also know Lee Stringer and people that worked on Firefly, and there's so many CGI things I can point out that I saw. Like there's a couple of shots that just are hilarious where you see all the cameo Star Trek VFX. It's like, They didn't hide it, some of them, because they had to fill the scene. No, it's good.
Paul N puts in $5. So thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
What happened to the USS Bozeman from the causality loop incident with the USS Enterprise D? There's a book you need to read, a novel called Ship of the Line.
It's a good book.
And it's so well done. It's sure a lot of people scream fan service, and I don't blame them. I can see why, but at the same time, it incorporates everything that it needs to just be an awesome story. If you haven't read Ship of the Line, go get it. It's worth it.
It's clever. It's real clever. It's basically the Enterprise E has now been, it's just out of generations. The E has now been created. It's about to be launched. This is the first breakdown cruise of the E, and it gets attacked by Klingons, sort of. And the Bozeman, he's there, and it's just a wonderful. And it's, well, I've got an audiobook, and when listening to it, I could absolutely picture the guy that was in it as the guy, and the Klingons very visceral. And, yeah, Kelsey Grammer. And to hear, I loved hearing there's a great moment at the start where Picard is wondering how many of his crew will return from the D, because he served with them for years, but some of them died, the thing crashed, they lost their possessions, a lot of them, and it was a really trying time. And he said every single member re-signed on to the E. And he's like, this is the family. He wasn't sure he wanted to take a ship again, but the entire crew, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, think about it. It's a hell of a moral statement. Although it's sad if people want to be on the new Enterprise, because nope, the old guys, no space is available.
Space is limited on that one compared to the D. So
yeah, it's one of the better ones. It stands out to me for sure, because it's kind of that in between of being it's a TNG one, but it's a TNG but not really. So it's still them as TNG them.
It's fantastic. Check it out. You'll find out what happened to the Bozeman, what happened to the captain. What's his name? Captain Bateman. Bateman. Thanks. Anyway, there's a lot in that. And it's funny you said you listened to it on audio, because so did I. Yeah. That was the last Star Trek novel I listened to on audiobook last year when I was doing my walks before the weather got shitty. So last fall is when I listened to it. So it's still very fresh in my mind.
Did you manage to finish it before the weather got shitty?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
No. And honestly, it makes you like the character, who's only in for one scene. I mean, he's barely a character, but it really makes him a really worthwhile character. And Blaze Scotty's in it. Sorry, I forgot to mention Scotty. It's the sequel to that as well. He would want to serve again. He feels young again. He got medical treatment that helped him be younger again. But in terms of he healed his stuff that he might have been ill. He's still got keen mind. What he learned, his fresh ideas from an old time. Helps design it. It's brilliant. And I love the scenes where LaForge and
don't get into too many spoilers.
Sorry. Well, I mean, it's good stuff. It's
worth it. Check it out.
Yeah.
Paul N. $2. Star Trek K7. It's like Deep Space Nine, only not as interesting. I mean, it's along the Klingon border. There could be some interesting stories there, I guess. Yeah, depends what era you set it in.
Well, near Sherman's planet, isn't it? Whatever that means. TOS era. Maybe it's like a diplomatic. It's like a 4-episode miniseries. The diplomatic mission between the Klingons and the Federation. Things go askew. Bit of a spy thing. You get these beautiful shots of K7 visually remastered, but still faithful. You get a little bit of Connie, a little bit of D7, mostly K7. Great. I could that for again, a lot of these are small stories. And I think if they took the idea of making little 4-episode stories, they can make so much money and so much fan cred.
Those are the Star Trek shorts we want. The short treks. You could really do some fantastic stuff and era hop. Just stay in certain.
Yeah.
It's easy. Well, no, I say it's easy, but it'd be a lot easier than you'd think for them to do that and capitalize on all the eras and all the fans and have one focus just on a Constitution class ship or something like that. So many things to do.
To be fair, I assume you saw the Mandalorian making of where they have that room, which is all a big screen. Have you seen that?
Oh yes. Seen it on
amazing
Corridor.
Yeah. I mean, watch the actual behind the scenes from ILM. It is absolutely incredible, beyond incredible. But this is why a lot of the sets, and I think I saw it while going in, have a similar feel. if you remember the tent where they go back to the planet and she fights the guy with the electric like ribbon thing, and she throttles him, the bounty hunter lady, and then he goes to ask for help at the end. That's all in the same room as everything else. All the walls are a projection. There's no room. Wow. But you can kind of, this feels like a weird circle. But then if you had that, you just make all the sets digitally, you build a console, you put the background behind them, it's out of focus, boom, you've now got, you've a full bridge, you build middle bits, and now, let's swap bridges, right, we'll bring in the new middle bit, and we'll put the new costumes, and now I've got a second bridge, the bridge which normally takes, $1 million to make, and now you've got a bottle show. Yes, there's lots of out of focus stuff, but the lighting's real, and I mean, for the same, I know it was brand spanking and very expensive, but I mean, my God, why don't those teams make it? And I mean, hey, Jon Favreau, make a TOS, make a Wrath of Khan, and because it's that thing, there's no location, it's the same room for every set, almost, and you could do that, and it moves in parallax, and my God, I mean, you could do so much with that, and give us 20-minute shorts, with the same crew, just so much you could do.
Indeed. I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
No one special. Well, number one special. $10. Thank you very much. Was not 30% different because TV and film had to be different. Considering JJ and refit are 30% different than original, would not unchanged TOS be the best way to have a ship that had not in the movies? Was it 30% different? TV and film had to be different. Oh, from the television stuff. Considering JJ Refit was 30% in the original.
He's mixed up a lot of things there, isn't he?
TOS. Yeah. Would not unchanged TOS be the best way to have a ship that had not been in the movies? Yes. Sure.
We'll both say yes, because I'm a bit confused. But thanks. Bit confused.
Yeah, me too. Jeff Jacobs, 253, one fitty tree. God damn it, Jeff, you make me read this shit. Happy is me. Okay, I'll do the whole thing. One fitty tree, happy is me. LOL. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Jeff, I'm going to shoot you in your kneecaps. But yeah, that's good. Let's get to 175, maybe 200. Let's make him pay again. Hashtag make Jeff pay. And hopefully he doesn't make me say something stupid. Fat Produce, $2. Where'd you get the audiobook of Ship of the Line?
I feel like it was just Amazon.
Mine I just listened to on YouTube. You can listen to them on YouTube. There's a lot of ads, though, unfortunately. But when you're going for a walk, just whatever. So.
How do you... Was that the YouTube app or was it something else?
Yeah, the YouTube app.
Because when I close mine... You don't get to listen to it anymore.
Well, you can if you get the YouTube, whatever it is, premium.
YouTube Red?
No, YouTube Premium. You can. I don't have YouTube Premium. I just leave my app open. Pretty simple. Just listen to it.
So, do you just hold it in your hand and walk, or do you?
I have it in a pocket.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Bravo, $5. Why didn't DS9 ever have a Ferengi Marauder docked? They had so many Ferengi episodes and no Ferengi military fanfare. Explain TNG's ape-like Ferengi. Yes, it's like Igor. We talked about those when we did the review for the last Outpost. They wanted to do something with the Ferengi. It just didn't pan out. And then they just casually just swept them under the rug for TNG. Brought them back for DS9, and then refined them a lot. There's a lot of refinements going on. Same with the Trill. The first time we see a Trill is in TNG. It doesn't have the spots. It's got a weird, funky forehead. The guy, and again, gets refined. So, but why didn't they have Marauder stock? That's a very good question. I would have loved to have seen that actually.
So it was an annoying miniature to light for that, but I agree that would have been cool. But the Ships of the Line you can get on audio cassette tape on Amazon.
Ooh. Yeah, see, I got a lot of old audio books on tape. Yeah. I want to get a little Walkman. I want to buy another new Walkman so I can listen to them. But yeah. Squadra Course puts in $2. How about a top 10 audiobooks for each time period? Damn.
There isn't that many. Because they did not make most books into audiobooks.
And a lot of the ones they did are generally crossover episodes. Like there's one called Federation with Kirk and Picard, and a lot of Q related ones. So they tend to do era swapping or crossovering.
And they made basically all of them in the 80s and 90s, and nothing pretty much in the 2000s, because it wasn't the era for that anymore. And so nothing of like late TNG stuff. It's mostly TOS, bit of TMP, some TNG, and there's a lot more books than audiobooks. I think you'd be lucky to find even 50 audiobooks, honestly. Star Wars, they kept churning out. There's a lot of them. I went through 2 years of audiobooks. I just literally went from the start, the very first, and up until way past Return of the Jedi. Took me 2.5, 3 years, and I listened to 108 audiobooks in a row.
Oh wow!
I listened to like all 9 of the Red Squadron. What's it called? Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron, yeah.
It's a good series. There's some really good stuff. And almost all of it's better than the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. A lot of the Star Trek ones are either read by like Mark Leonard or John Delancey or Leonard Nimoy. Yep. George Takei. But he reads one of my favorite ones, actually, Kobayashi Maru.
I haven't read that one.
Oh, that's a great one. It's a great one.
And the Q ones are definitely good. The Q and Q again. Although the Shatner ones, those are worth listening to.
Yes.
I remember I was actually in LA. We were going to do the Universal tour, and my parents were driving around, and I was in the back, the rental car, listening, and I liked the book so much more than the surroundings. They were just driving to a location, but it was like a 3-hour drive, and I did not give a shit about the America around me. This is a good book. I'd rather do that, which was really weird, but it was really engaging, actually. I think it was in the middle book.
Yeah.
No, it was very good.
I love audiobooks just because they're a good way to, like when you're walking, doing something else, it's a good thing to just listen and focus. I love reading, don't get me wrong. And the books generally the audiobooks are abridged a little bit. They don't read the whole thing. So again, just like a movie, the book's always better. But, I've read a lot of them. I have a ton of novels over there, and I just prefer audiobooks because just while I'm doing something else, I can focus on it. I just don't have time to read generally. So, but yeah, anyway, sorry, off on a tangent there. Paul N puts in $5. Star Trek, Iconian Gateway, Protecting the Timeline. There is a show for you. No, we need a temporal investigations show. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we've had so many good ideas. It's sad.
We're have better ideas than them, and it's so sad. Jeff Jacobs says, I drive a ton. Long trips, audio is my friend. Yes.
Absolutely. In fact, I just Googled Star Trek audiobooks on eBay, because that's going to be a good way. And I haven't listened to Reunion, the TNG one. I have not listened to Spock's World yet. KLS, I listened to KLS a lot when I was younger. That one's a good one. Warped, DS9, haven't listened to that. Fallen Heroes, no. Transformations by Sulu. So there's quite a few, and they're all CDs. Maybe we should do like a Trekyards binge. Just get all the eBay ones.
Should do like instead of a watch party, a listen party. I don't think those are copyrighted the same way. I don't know if YouTube will snag it.
What, listening to George K talk while we're talking?
Yeah. Jonathan Davies, though, just joined the ranks of the channel at the rank of commander. So thank you, Jonathan. I forgot to mention that this whole live. Yes. Yeah, guys, there's a join button. You can become the rank of commander, captain, or admiral. So, Jonathan, welcome to the team. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated.
I'm going to talk about the join for a second, because it's actually really, really important.
Oh, it is. It's a monthly thing. It's kind of like the YouTube version of Patreon. But if you join us for the lives a lot, which a lot of you do, we have a lot of regulars. You get your name highlighted in green. We get to see your comment specifically. Get a badge beside your name. With the longer you hear, it changes. And there's also access to all the emojis for the live chat. So if you're one of the Trekyards live chat crew, it's a great way to literally become part of the crew and actually get something out of your membership that you'll really enjoy, hopefully. So
yeah, and we're now in the post-Picard world where money is now going to be a lot harder to raise for us. So being a join member is a brilliant way. We don't need to make as much as we did during Picard, but also we worked a lot harder than we do, as you guys saw. But we need to make a certain amount, and so join's a great way. Thank you in advance.
Yeah. And Captain Kenny asks, is there something wrong with your chair, Commander? No, there's not. He's just been sitting in it all day, knowing him, and it just gets a little hard on the tuchus.
It's just good to move around a bit. I know it's a bit noisy sometimes, but good to move.
I thought he was imitating the Ferengi there that we saw in the last Outpost for a minute, where he's like crawling all over his chair.
No, feel human. I'm gonna let you keep talking though, while I put because I'm gonna do a test, guys. How good's my phone camera gonna look and audio? So you talk to the chat for a little bit while I mute myself while I get this sorted, if that's okay. Visual test, and then I might have some stuff to show, as in like I would like to look at. I can use it as a little camera to say maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
You're leaving me alone with these people. That's okay. Mike Bravo, it's cool to be captain. Sure, yes. The Picard novel isn't great. Gives you a little backstory, but nothing you actually want to know. Yeah, I've heard that. I still want to read it at some point. But Jeff is saying to check PayPal. Checking. And it says still says a pending thing for that. So best I can do. There's no new ones that are coming up anyway. Eugene though throws in 500 rubles, which is awesome. Thank you very much, Eugene. Apparently Plinkett reviews are coming back. Yeah, I've heard rumor that there's going to be a Plinkett review for all of Picard, which, if it's like his Star Wars one, will be epic to no end. I'm looking forward to their review of episode 9 and 10, which still doesn't come out unless they're saving it for a Plinkett thing. But, whoa, everything's... Oh, I see what you're doing. There we go. So, yeah, I hope they do come back. I like Mr. Plinkett. So I got my piece. And check this. Thanks. Oh, for checking the PayPal. Yeah, I've been checking it all along. It just says its payment is pending, which is a bit of a shame because you can't see the comment or whatever. It just says that we've placed a pending status on this. Yeah, so I don't have anything I can read with that, unfortunately, Jeff. So, favorite class of ship, says Katie Carr. It has to be the Constitution for me. It's just simple cop-out. I love the Constitution class and the refit of it. So, let's see. Eugene says, the rumor is that there will be an episode 9 or 10 review. Rich finally escaped. He gave up after the last one. And he won't be talking about Discovery, which is great. Tab extra. Last time I did a super chat, my bank froze my credit card. Thank you, Trekyards. Well, it's not our fault. That's PayPal. They think something suspicious is going on. So, how about Star Trek Squadron fan film? Says Simmons 8519. Well, we just had those guys on a few weekends ago to talk about Squadron fan film, which is pretty great. They are great guys, and it's a great set. They really took a lot of time and effort to put in, and I think it shows. Tim Stinson, I really miss Galaxy class. At times it could look moody. At times it could look happy. Yeah, the Galaxy class actually took me a while to get to like the design, to be honest. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, eh. But the shapes all work together, and it's a cool looking design. And what are you doing with the... I'm like big, I'm like little, I'm like all over the place. Dan23, the banks suspend your credit card if you make a suspicious payment and you don't normally do it. Yeah, so it's just a temporary suspension. I've got calls too from the credit card company.
Does that work?
It does.
How do I sound?
Like, not that great.
Like,
and the picture's also not that great. It's very choppy.
Well, I'm on Wi-Fi this time.
Yeah.
But look, I'm over here now.
Look, it's Samuel.
No, so you can see me with both Skypes. But I can't. Okay. What can I hear? I don't
know. Macro death. Ferengi were supposed to be evolved bats. What a missed opportunity to look naturally like Batman or Batwoman. Instead, they went with Blorp. Okay. Yeah.
But I can show you something.
Okay.
That is not what I meant to do.
I mean,
I don't know. How would one flip screen?
By hitting the little flippy screen button that way.
Yeah. So I'm looking at you guys, not me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Aha. God, we're a bit delayed. I got this the other day.
I've done a review of that already.
They're pretty. I like it. What concepts does it have? Or Stuart, what's a better concept? Any of these?
Go watch my review.
That's very familiar.
That was really cool. I like that one. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's kind of like the Andor class.
Yeah, it really is. Pretty basic sketches, but it's good. Well, now, is this a higher quality camera? Oh, stand on it.
Yeah, the forward-facing one, or one on the rear should be better quality.
My volume sounds. It sounds like I'm now clearer.
Skype looks like garbage, just so you're aware. It sounds a little bit echoey, but I mean, when I'm looking at the live stream, it looks pretty clear. So, but Skype, it looks like crap on my end, just so you're aware. And Jeff Jacobs says, is that the Ease book? No, that's the book that came with the Section 31 ship from Discovery, from Eagle Moss.
Well, for an expensive phone, that's an unimpressive Skype level. Don't get that phone for Skype. It is not going to do you any good. Do you well.
And Paul N is like, is the commander testing the Blair Witch camera app? Yes. The phone was still the entire time, but the app added the movement.
I'm back. Hello.
Oh, the Tab Extra throws in 100 krona, I think that is.
Oh, thank you.
I would love a Trekyards review of Resurrected Starships, fan-created, enhanced, original Enterprise versus Discovery's Enterprise A, case for the original. It's funny you brought up Resurrected Starships. We're filming with him tomorrow at 12. He's going to be on our channel. We're going to be talking about the Romulan ships and the Romulan fleet from Picard, unfortunately. I know. But we're filming with him tomorrow at noon. So it's funny you mentioned that because It's going to be on the channel soon.
And that wasn't actually our idea, in terms of like.
Yeah, he reached out to us because he likes Romulan designs, and he wanted to give his thoughts on it. And we're his first collaboration video as well, so we're
honored.
Popping his, collaboration cherry. He's a collaboration virgin, so he's mentioned us. He mentioned us in his Starship Design Rules episode as well. So I love watching his stuff. He watches Trekyards, which is great. He might actually be in the chat here. He is around occasionally. So there you go.
Cool.
And Tab Extra says I'm funny like that. What, Tab Extra? Are you just resurrected starships on a different account? I wouldn't be surprised. Well, yeah, we'll talk to him about his Enterprise and stuff tomorrow, kind of off camera. We'll see. We might do more collabs with him in the future. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, that Enterprise was yeah.
I didn't like his impulse engine deck. I didn't like the strip of impulse engines he had. I'd stick to 2 impulse engines.
It's tricky depending on like how far you want to go. If you want to stay faithful, if you want to do whatever. But I mean, 131,000 views in 2 weeks is exceptional. So well done.
And Tab Extra says, "No, I am just nobody." You're not nobody. You're somebody special. You're a Trekyards community member, and we love you. So don't think you're nobody.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I don't like the Picard'd. The way they spin looks.
Well, he explains that he had a hard time animating those. Explains how he did it, but yeah, I thought that looked a little wonky. But you get used to it after a while, and it's kind of like, it's not too bad. I can't stand
Discovery, Stuart. We still gotta keep him to account.
I know. I just can't stand the impulse deck. I hate it. Just have 2 impulse engines. Don't do like 8 little small ones across the back.
And Star Edison says, please do a video on the Cavort class bird of prey. We did. Go look at the Clone bird of prey video. We do all 3 types. It's right there. And the remaster is excellent with all new graphics and such. Go look it up. It's great. I'll look it up for you.
Trekyards bird of prey. You'll find it. Olivia Julius, $2. Captain, don't let the space cat out. CAT. What does that stand for? I'm afraid to ask.
Trekyards episode 314, March 4th, 2018, with the sexy remastered Legends intro with all the updated 3D models. That is very nice. I spent a long time going to work with a LCARS.
What episode number was that?
314, with a very, very sleek LCARS with very small on, so you get all of the screen and lots of renders of the original model from the movies. New stuff with the one from Enterprise, many rotations, some flybys with the bird of prey from Enterprise, and I even made some jokes of like I lit, because it's the same model, so I lit like the Cavort red and I lit the thingy blue, just like, look, this is the Cavort. Oh, look, this is. It's like, yeah, it's the same model. I mean, but it isn't. It's the, So yeah, go watch it. And then part 2 was episode 316, March 10th, which also incorporates the Discovery of a bird of prey because we are only fair like that.
And yeah, Jeff is right. We appreciate you taking the risk for us, man. You are awesome. To Tab Extra for, even though they froze his credit card last time for making a PayPal payment to us, he did a super chat. So appreciate that. Thank you very much. Christopher Beatty, though, has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So welcome, Commander.
Nice bow tie.
Stylish. Yeah, I was going to say you're looking stylish in that display pic. So welcome aboard.
I dig it. Dig it, sir.
And Olivia Julius is back with $2. What's your opinion on the old freighters in Enterprise? Oh, the what's the name of that freighter that Mayweather's parents were on?
J-Class.
I know, but what's the name of the freighter?
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know.
On the tip of my tongue, because I saw that episode not that long ago. Anyway, I think they're quite interesting, actually. I like the design, honestly. How it's kind of set up like a train, with the train cars being the cargo things.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into those models. I mean, those are
the Fortunate. That's it. Thank you.
Actually, the Horizon was his one.
Was it?
Fortunate was
I was thinking of the Fortunate.
And that's the one that was the other one. No, I mean, those are some good models. I mean, Pierre really went. I mean, a lot of those ships are repeated pieces, so you make one cargo module really nice, clone, great, you got 6. So they got a lot of bang for the buck there. And in fact, we did one of our better ones, I think, of that sort of style. We looked at every single ship from the start of Enterprise to the end, the full evolution. And that was really fun because you can, even pulling things in from it. Like I was very, very, very careful to find the dates of them, and things like where does the probe from Voyager fit in, and then try and see what the evolutionary line is, and seeing those are really interesting. Like especially with the warp nacelles and how they fit into the evolution, because they still tried in Enterprise to fit things in.
Is that the video we did with? Is that the video we did with Space Stock?
No, we did a two-part. It was our first evolution of we did the Romulan fleet, the Klingon fleet. No, that was just. I
remember he was on with us talking about Enterprise ships. So, Padar Ruan puts in €5. So thank you. Amarillo Design Bureau should create a TV series set in the Starfleet Battles universe set during the General War. That'd be amazing because Starfleet Battles and Amarillo Design Bureau got some really cool ships, but a lot of copyright issues with that would be a thing. So not going to happen, but yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we were on the Star Trek Pre-Federation Ships Part 1 featuring Trekyards Subspace podcast for Space Dock.
There you go.
On their podcast. I'm trying to find our video, but I'm not able to find it for some reason.
Yeah, the ECS Horizon, Earth Cargo Ship Horizon.
Yeah.
Rambling Rattlesnake Trekyards, what do you think of the LCARs on the Enterprise D bridge from yesterday's Enterprise? I think they're awesome, actually. I love when they add the side consoles, even in Generations, to the Enterprise D bridge. It really fills the bridge out for me and makes it feel like a bridge, not like a lounge. I wish they had them there the whole time, but too expensive, couldn't have them manned. Whatever. Stop it. But that's a better cost-cutting measure than using stock footage and low-quality CGI ships and cut-and-paste fleets. At least that's a good way to save some money, But Paul N., $2, Star Trek, Klingon Noble House. A lot of people would love a Klingon-inspired series, Klingon-centric, but I don't know. I prefer Starfleet, personally. Everybody's like, do something from the Klingon perspective or the Romulan perspective, and I'm like,
Well,
it'd be interesting, but I'd rather watch the Federation.
Thing is, it all depends how it's done. If it was a good story, if it was interesting, all depends.
John Holland, though, throws in $10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just rewatched some Enterprise, and the ships of all races look way better than Disco or Picard. They are well lit and look beautiful, and as you guys just said, they worked to fit them into canon. They definitely tried. There are a few canon-breaking things in Enterprise, but yes, the ships at least look like they fit. And canon, I got to correct you, John. I know I'm going to sound like an asshole, but canon only has one N in that instance. A cannon with two ends in the middle is a weapon. It's a pet peeve of mine. Sorry.
Yeah. Why does no? Wait, what'd you say? Oh yeah. It's like, why would people put Trekyards one word with a capital Y? Things don't have capitals in the middle of sentences. Like 9.9 things out of 10 in the English language. So I don't know why people would ever think that.
Well, YouTube does. The T is a capital in YouTube, but that's
one of the rare examples.
I know. But Tab Extra puts in 50. Yeah.
Norwegian krona.
What they did.
$5.
That's the krona. Yeah, that's what I said last time.
Yes.
What they did good in Enterprise was to show how old ships like the freighters spent months traveling versus weeks on the new Warp 5 Enterprise.
That's true.
Yep. And the space lanes were dangerous because they were slow and there's no one around to help. I love that. That's exactly like, the Old West, the frontier. You got, bandits, and that. I think that was great. It was very well handled.
Yeah, it's one of the things that the distance makes the stories better. When you see the TOS episodes where they say send a signal to Starfleet, it'll take 3 weeks. Okay, we're on our own. Rather than, right, we're at the edge of Federation space, let's do a real-time hologram back to Earth from the edge of Federation space and get orders right now, and then all the ships will warp in today. And it's like... And that's just episode 1 Discovery. You see how broken it is when you watch that. It's like nothing there works. It's a terribly written piece.
Well, Kevin McNulty, who is now a member of the channel, says, longtime fan of this channel, recently joined through YouTube. I want to thank you for always giving interesting and informative videos. Well, thank you, Kevin. We really appreciate that. And joining the channel is a big help to us. So thank you very much. And you check out the emojis. You got emojis you can use in the chat now. Check them out.
You've got
kind of fun,
fancy things.
Right? And Pepper Venge says, I love the thumbnail for this video. Well, Samuel will appreciate that because he did that, and I thought it was pretty fantastic myself.
Just something a bit random. Because I happened to be doing this D7 for something else I'm going to show you. I was like, already had it open. I'm like, oh, that's a good looking model. I can make it look pretty good. I thought I was going to put a Venture, the Insurrection Scout, where the Reliant is, and thought, you know what? Nah. Reliant. Because I just have that flexibility, I can do whatever I want. And this is, hey, more interesting, this one scene is more interesting battle than the end of Picard.
Thrib says, where are they getting lit from?
From the right. It's true. I mean, there's a little bit of fill on the left, but yeah, on the right, both hard right and also top right, because you've got to light every ship differently. And that's one of those things that I've often fallen into the trap of. You want each to look the best, and if light comes from a certain direction, a lot of the time you can just say, well, yeah, it's the right. But, look how the E is, right? Flat, smooth, and look at the D7, these very hard lines. You can't light them the same, because if you light the D7 like the E, it'll only light a very small portion. You light the E like the D7, and it's all bright, because it's all, you gotta light it very differently.
Olivia Julius, though, throws in $2. What happened to the Defiant after first contact? It got repaired.
And it went back into DS9. Yeah, it was used next episode. I think.
And they were smart enough to have a line. The Defiant's still salvageable, or whatever Picard says. So it's not salvageable. Yeah. So I'd love that. See, that's something that Discovery would just glaze over and not put that little line of dialogue in. But they wanted to reassure the DS9 fans that just because Worf was in a big movie, the Defiant wasn't destroyed there. So I like it. I like the way they handled it.
Well, they could have done with having Avery there. Would have changed the feel drastically, but it would have been cool to kind of have Avery Brooks, and maybe he gets untimed or something else happens. Obviously, he couldn't be there, so I don't know how it makes sense. But that would have been a fun, or maybe 2 ships or something. I don't know.
No, it would have been fun to have him there and come aboard the Enterprise, and then the Defiant's adrift but salvageable, and have him beam back over. Worf sticks around, and then they have to go back in time. So I mean, it would have been neat, but I think it would have been 2 captains clashing. And Sisko's a very hard-edged character. He doesn't like Picard to begin with because Picard's responsible for the death of his wife. I mean, it would have been pretty interesting now that I've said that. Because what season of DS9 was First Contact? In 5?
Yeah,
5 or 6?
I was going to guess 5, yeah.
So, I mean, that would be interesting. You could rewrite that whole script.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, having Janeway in Nemesis was a real big, cool vibe. So it would have been nice to have... Because it makes total sense to have Worf there, don't get me wrong, it makes sense. Just, it would be nice to have more.
And Supercoops puts in £5.
Dang.
Enterprise was a much better show than it gets credit for. Wasn't sure about the temporal Cold War, though. Keep trekking Trekyards. Now, the temporal Cold War had a lot of potential, and it just kind of fizzled out, honestly. It was a storyline that wasn't given what it's just due, unfortunately.
I think Enterprise suffers from... It could have been spectacular, but they didn't trust something about it. The cast is a good cast. They didn't give them enough to do. The stories were often very vanilla. some are very good, but often very vanilla. I think season 3 it really kicked itself off. I think season 3 is very good for what it is, and season 4 either good or bad or great. I mean, season 4 has different stories, so take each one for different levels of quality because they're all so different. And each part is very different. But that would have been, I mean, if season 1 had been season 4 of Enterprise, it would have been very strong. It would have been like, oh wow, so much of different things and tell these new stories. But it wasn't. It did not know what it wanted to be. They pitched a prequel without really designing what that would mean. Clearly, I mean, it's just sort of a thing. It's not really this. And I've said to you before recently, in fact, how could the same team go from Voyager season 7 with all the lessons learned into Enterprise season 1 be a much less good season? Like, surely it should be as good as season 7 of Voyager. It's the same team. I know it's different cast, but it's like they forgot so much of their quality stuff. It's back to season 1 of Voyager. It's like, but they've learned for over 7 years of working together.
They're trying to shake things up and make it new, and it's a one Starfleet ship kind of thing. It didn't. I think they tried something new and it didn't quite work.
But it's worse than Voyager. Like, it's just weird to me. Now the CGI is better, good for them, and the sets look great, and they put a lot of little details in. But it's very strange, very very strange. It could have been a lot better.
Pepper Venge says Picard isn't responsible for the death of Sisko's wife. Locutus was, the Borg was, not Picard. Picard would never hurt anyone. I'm aware.
I mean, he does kill lots of people in lots of ships and lots of battles. I mean,
he does. But Sisko in the pilot of DS9 was quite annoyed with Picard. He knew that there's a separation between Locutus and Picard, but it's still Picard, But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I knew there's a difference. John Holland, though, throws in $5. I heard that there was a Sisko scene planned sending Worf off to the battle, but it was cut. Sisko and Archer, the only captains not in a film. Yeah, I had heard that too. Him sending Worf to give reinforcements for the battle, which would have been kind of neat, but I think it would have taken away from the movie. I mean, the movie just gets right into it. That would have been unneeded.
You almost could have done with I don't know, it wouldn't have made necessarily any sense, but it would have been kind of cool if at the end of if it was Avengers style, right? You have so the movie ends like it ends, and mid credits you see him come out of the tunnel into Earth orbit, and there's space looking amazing, right? As it pans over, everyone's like, "Oh, we can take a breather, brilliant," and it's great satisfaction. And then post credit, you see Worf in his quarters, like he's been walked in by like O'Brien or someone saying, "Here," not O'Brien, but like by Riker saying, "Okay, Worf, here are your quarters." And as soon as he gets in, the comm beeps, and it's Sisko saying, "Mr. Worf, I expect you back at DS9. More, Mr. Worf, how could you destroy my Defiant? I took so long to build that, but sir, I was fighting the Borg. That's no excuse. If I was there, well, you weren't there, sir." And that whole weird interaction would have been kind of funny. Like Sisko taking no shit that he got the Defiant that damaged. It's like, Mr. Worf, you should have done better against a Borg cube, Mr. Worf. That would have been kind of fun.
Would have been. Ozzy puts in $5 and says we need skeleton hands. Well, Ozzy, we all have skeleton hands. They're just covered by muscle and flesh. You got to wash them. If you wash them enough, you get down to skeleton hands.
Anthony Harvey, non-super chat, will answer it for a second though. What do you think of the TNG episodes Time's Arrow, which is the Data Go Back in Time the Guinan episodes?
I really liked those episodes actually. Playing Samuel Clements was great, and seeing Guinan as well. Like one of my favorite scenes. Sylvia can actually do it really well. Stop, Mr. Data. I can't remember the exact quote, but that's one of my favorite scenes where she's like, it's a starship. Yeah, I think that Time's Arrow is really fun. And the fact that Data's head's left in there for that long, it's interesting. It's got a lot of cool aspects to it. One of my favorite any time travel episode is one of my favorites. So, yeah.
For me, I've never watched those episodes again. When I've watched them, I remember not liking them very much, and I've always skipped them. Like, I don't tend to just watch Star Trek, but for my memory, I don't like them very much. I mean, I like Data's bits, but I think the stories are a bit crap, and Guy in the past isn't used as well as it could have been. Don't like them very much. I've only watched them maybe once all the way through, maybe twice, but meh.
Yeah.
No, not very good.
And yeah, Ozzy's right. Was the Enterprise a clipper ship?
Yeah.
It was a starship.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. D. Becky Schultz says, "What's with skeleton hands reference?" I always see it pop up in the chat. I'd love to send you the link to the video, but I mean, one of the mods could. I guess Jeff will. Depending whether it's from the Trekyards channel or the Captain Foley personal channel, it changes the timestamp a bit. So if he posts it, I'll let you know the timestamp, Becky, and you can watch it.
First,
it's funny.
Cashier says, "This man's here. He wants to return this item."
Dan23, Time Zero Part 2 is the first Star Trek I remember seeing. Wow, you must be going, what the hell is going on?
Why are there snakes coming out of people's canes?
Yeah.
Although I remember seeing someone posted an interesting you could buy it as a thing of the original costume that was used to make that effect, and it was like, that's what aliens look like.
All right, Becky, Skeletons reference. The link is in the chat right now. Jeff supplied it. That's Captain Foley personal channel one, so that means it's around the 39 minutes 16-second mark. There's also a Trekyards version of it, which is the actual gameplay, and that's around the 36-minute mark. So for that link that he supplied, 39-minute mark. Check it out. You should get a laugh, I hope. Supercubes, Cap, it always seems strange to me that Data's head is 500 years older than the rest of him after that episode. Yeah, it bugged me for a little while, too. But, oh well. And Gul Dukat was in Time Zero Part 1. Mike Bravo, you're absolutely right. But not as Gul Dukat. Mark, whatever his name is. He was a gambler. So he was, and then we see him as a human again in the other one too with Cisco. What the hell is the name of that one? Beyond the Farthest Star. It's weird seeing him as a human though. And he was also another Gull in TNG. The first time we saw the Cardassians, he had the stupid head thing on and like facial hair. It was weird. So, yeah. Yeah, so Becky, check it out, and next time you'll know what Skeleton Hands is, and you can, enjoy it, hopefully.
So I had two other ships that I brought out just to show for lols. And there's no way you could possibly get this reference. But this is a one that I'm surprised that she made an Eagle Moss, but also they make everything, so... Now, do you recognize this ship?
Negative.
If I said Axanar, would you know what I meant?
Negative.
If I show you the base, will that help?
Axanar cargo vessel.
Yes. The Axanar cargo vessel. For Enterprise. It was in one episode. The reason I bring this up is, you won't know this, but when I do our scale renders for the Star Trek Online stuff, because that's a big thing we talk about, we spend at least like 2-3 minutes talking about. This is the ship I use to represent every single Star Trek Online ship, because it's nice and flat and simple. I make this, I scale it to exactly the right amount of meters, I render a frame of all the ships on the top and the side, and then I match in Photoshop the Star Trek Online ship to the edges of this, and I remove it. So this has been in every single Star Trek Online video you've seen graphics for, just underneath the actual ship itself. So yeah. A little better. This is my ruler ship for Enterprise. Pierre drew late all that time making it so I can use it as a ruler in Photoshop. Thanks, Pierre. It was his birthday 2 days ago. Guys, everyone say happy birthday to Pierre Droulet, who built the 3D mold for Firefly, for the Shinjo from Discovery, of the Orville, of many Orville ships, of the Enterprise, of basically every single Enterprise ever ship. Guys, happy birthday right now. Not that I'll ever see it, but let's see how many people I can get to happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pierre Droulet. There you go. Everybody say it with me now. Happy and while you were wasting breath there, that's the link. That's the other link, Becky, for the Trekyards version of the same video, where you can actually see the gameplay. So it might be more funny to watch that one. But that's at the 36-minute mark. So start watching there and watch for at least 10, 15 minutes.
Or all of it. Whatever.
Or all of it. Just watch the whole thing. That'd be great too. Tab Extra throws in 50 krona. Thank you very much. Can you guys do a Honorverse ship review? Books by David Weber. You should start with HMS Nike.
I know none of those words. I'll be honest. Well, that's a ship.
I gotta look this up now.
Stuart, what do you think? I'll let you give your impression first.
Okay, well, I can't see it yet because I haven't looked it up because you don't want me to look anything up on my own computer.
Oh, I didn't say that. Do it. Go, do it.
HMS Nike. Oh, now I gotta look things up on my own. I feel like
I can't do everything for you, Stuart.
Should be able to. I didn't get this far in life by doing shit by myself.
Look. Don't I do enough by scripting your lives? Don't I do enough already?
Oh. Well, that looks like a double-ended dildo. Or a barbell. A very, like 5-pound barbell.
It's not great, I'll be honest.
Not.
I do want to talk about one other ship, though, because
It's not a brick, though. It's not a brick in space, Samuel.
No, it's a dildo.
They changed it up a bit.
I want to talk about this ship briefly. Let's say this shit. I didn't mean to. This ship. Do you have this one yet? Do you know what it is?
The Hiawatha.
Hiawatha, yeah. Do you have it already?
It's Hiawatha. I do not have it yet.
It's one of those ones where you can tell it's such a simple 3D model, they just textured some plates onto it. I mean, it's no detail. But I think, actually, not bad. I mean, it's just basically just a car, it's a warehouse in space with engines. I mean, it's not really, it's kit bash engines. But, what amazed me, and I really wish, I think this was also the same chap we talked about. Who's the chap we met in London? Well, Birmingham. Ryan Denning, yeah. He had some incredible other concepts. This is the original, sketch. Great, fine. But some of the sketches he had were so on the ball in terms of canon, and where he ended up. Again, here is where he ended up, right? Which is fine. It's Starfleet enough, right? But this makes you appreciate that they want to do what's right and they're not allowed to. Those are some of the concepts.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And half of them are Botany Bay themed. And the other half are Daedalus themed. And what did they pick? The one that wasn't either.
Of course they did. They don't want anything that looks like something else.
But you know what I mean? Like, the fact that he would even go Botany Bay makes me so happy. And a bull ship, I mean, that makes so much sense. And you can see his concept here for this one. I mean, it doesn't look great, but at least conceptually, I get what they're going for.
It's the time period, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? And I actually quite like, this one also is basically just the tug from TOS. And again, it's the correct sort of cargo ship design that we've seen, all the time. It's amazing they didn't, Would have been such a nice thing to use a Botany Bay one and just modify it. It's so weird they went for just a freighter in space. Disappointing,
Yeah.
But well on him for trying, at least.
Well, he's a good guy and he knows his Trek. I like him. I'm eager to speak to him and have him on the show because it'll be great chatting with him. Like, he definitely
Yeah.
Definitely knows his stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah.
Paul N, $2. New accent art trailer a week ago. Yeah, saw that.
Well, more like a month ago, but
yeah.
that was on the review live.
And Thane Alexander puts in $5. First time responder on this.
Ooh.
What was your guys' favorite looking ship or design on Voyager? Love your channel and love what you guys do. Keep it up.
Thank you.
On Voyager.
I can just a little bit easier because I can just look through my pictures. A little bit easier for me.
Yeah, no shit.
Thank
you so much. The Devore warship was pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Shit, I don't even know. I don't have them all in front of me, unfortunately.
I mean, there's so many good ones. Honestly, there are so many good ones. I mean, you look at them and you think it's a variety, and yet also not. I always like the Krenim ships. At least conceptually, I wish they'd fleshed them out more. I thought they were both, well, all three, very interesting designs. Just not given a lot of model time. Although for the time they still looked fine, considering how much work they had to do in Year of Hell, and they still managed to make 3 brand new CG models that held up for the time with limited time. That's a team that cared, you know. Oh God. Well, 8472 ship. That's always going to stand out as being a standout. Simple yet brilliant.
Yeah, a new aesthetic that really stands out for sure.
And also, I like Dauntless. I think Dauntless stands out as a really interesting.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Well, I mean, it stands out again as a really special ship.
The NX-01A. It was before Enterprise, but still. Katie Carr joined the channel. Ooh. Welcome to the rank of Commander, Katie.
Why you laugh?
So thank you.
Well, I guess I don't actually have
to...
salute.
You
yeah.
Salute. Nice.
Dove salute Commander. Sorry, I take it back. With the same rank. We can mutual salute. Yeah. Or just, look at Stuart and be like, God damn it, how did
each other.
Yeah. Or look at Stuart and say, God damn, how did he get a promotion ahead of us? That's what you and me are gonna think, Katie. Just like, how did you get there first?
Jeff Jacobs, $2.02. 202 likes. It's easy. It's Voyager. # make Jeff pay. So Voyager is the Intrepid, I guess, is his favorite.
And do you know what, guys? 205 likes. I know Jeff is impressed. I want to see 230 likes. I get the thing we haven't mentioned it and people haven't clicked it. So I think people need to go onto their phone or their internet and click the like button. I think that you're being challenged. Being challenged.
Jonathan Davies, £5.
Thank you.
What would you do if you found yourself on the Enterprise, any era? Run around and clap for joy. That'd be awesome. And if I had to pick one, I love the TOS Connie, I really do. But as I always say for that answer, I would pick the Galaxy class Enterprise D. Just because it's so luxurious, so nice, so huge, so much to do. Plus you have holodecks, so you can visit any other Enterprise. It's pretty easy.
Yep, E's too much of a battleship. Anything before is too much of a, simple. And the D is nice because I think, I've been on that bridge twice, at least a version, and it does have a certain feel of home because I've stood on it. And TOS Connie we both stood on, and has a similar feel, But yeah, Enterprise D for sure. I think if I was beamed aboard, I would if it was actually the Enterprise, then I would want to. They'd be like, we'd talk to you about something like, great, take me to Picard, and they're like, how do you know Picard? Oh, I know a lot of things, and they would take me in. I'm like, what season is this? And they'd be like, what do you mean, what season? What's the start? No, don't tell me start. I don't know what start it is. Okay, when was the last time you fought the Borg? Ooh, 2 years ago. That helps. And I would start breaking down like what where they are in their own timeline. I'm like, okay, great. Oh no, next week is this incident. No.
Next week is when this section of the ship gets destroyed. Oh shit! I'll make sure not to be there. Yeah.
And I would go down to 10 forward after I've been debriefed, whatever they want from me. Talk to Guinan, ask her about her bloody people, because no one ever does. No one ever. She's the listener. Make her be the talker. I'll be the listener. Ask her about Chekhov. And she's like, oh, I know you know Chekhov. And then I'll phone Chekhov. I'll ask for I'll get Guinan to ask to speak to Chekhov, and then I'll get to sit down with her in her quarters talking to Chekhov, because Chekhov's still alive and younger than...
And a lot of people are going to be wondering what you're talking about. You got Star Trek, that one. Star Trek Generations, that one. She was on the DeLorean ship that gets destroyed by the Nexus, and he's in sick bay, and he meets her. So, she would know who he is. Just so you guys know.
Sorry, I know canon, so I use it all.
Yeah, well, you said Chekhov, and I had to think for a minute going, oh, yeah, shit. So I just wanted to clear it up for... James Etherson puts in £1. Thank you very much, with no comment, but that's okay.
£1 does make a difference.
It does. And Tab Extra, 100 krona. Thank you very much. That is awesome. USS, I can tell by the color. That's $10. USS Prometheus is the worst ship in the history of sci-fi. Who would build a ship that takes 3 times the hull armor, power systems, and weapons? Why not simply build 3 cheaper ships? Do you know that that's the commander's favorite ship? Besides the one he designed himself, of course. You just hurt his feelings. Look, he's sad now.
Can we kill him?
No, he's a community member and he's super chats all the time. He's a good guy.
Maim him?
No, I will not allow it.
Look, okay. The Prometheus, we've been through this in terms of our episode. It has actually less weapons on its external surface than it does when it's separated. And so when it's separated, it can actually deliver a ton more power. Each unit has torpedoes and phaser strips. So actually, and each one can maintain the same phaser unit. So yes, they have less shielding, in terms of hull, but each have a full warp core. So each has a full shield grid that's equally as strong as other primary ships. So if you've got 3 ships with equally good shields, or roughly equal, and literally the same quality phasers, you're tripling your firepower. And it's not designed for long combat, it's designed for short things. Why have 3 Akiras when you can have 1 Prometheus, which can deliver the exact same amount of power? And yes, you might damage one of the 3 sections, but by the time you've managed to counterattack, they never went into it, but if all of the launchers are quantum, say, at a certain point, including the ones in the separate inner tubes, I mean, you've got 3 ships launching, and you can also not only do 3 separate weapon targets. So, for example, you could shoot, all around and disable shields, or you can all do the same target, like we see in the episode, and break through shields 3 times quicker. I know in Bridge Commander, it was a thing where you had less shield power, so you would do a very distinct trade-off. But then 3 targets you can't shoot at, and obviously, when you have phaser emitters in phaser rings, you can fire at multiple targets. So having multiple targets doesn't really matter as much, because it's not as if... I mean, Stuart, do you think that when you fire a phaser, surely each beam should have roughly the same power as each other? It's not as if the emitters are drained fully, because it's recharging a different segment. So if a galaxy fires 5 beams in 5 seconds, are all 5 weaker, or are they at the same strength, just differently fired?
Same strength.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually matter having different targets, unless you might get outside of their targeting thing. But then obviously you've got multiple phaser things. I mean, you get out torpedo range, but again, those self-targets. So, yes and no. And if you've got a fleet, can you imagine 10 Prometheus becoming 30 ships? You've got 10 times the firepower, and if they all fire torpedoes, I mean, you can't fire torpedoes in the inner ships because they'll hit the hull. So if it's a quick thing attack, I mean, especially like I said, they're all quantum. So it's for short, sharp shocks, And if you're trying to evacuate, if there's 1 target, 3 people, 3 ships, if you evacuate everyone on... Because the Enterprise D is a shitty evacuation ship. Saucer can't sustain warp, so it's stuck. Prometheus, put everyone on one of the 3 segments. You can evacuate, you've got to save the crew. So it has lots of uses. And yes, it's not necessarily a long-term battle solution. And whereas if it's... But then you've got the advantage of being fully integrated, because you can... It's like It's got 3 engines, so you can turn all 3 engines on and have it powering the same ship. So in a single ship version, it has 3 times the potential power. While the shield missiles might not be able to hold that, it has those potential reserves. So, sir, have I fucked you up yet? So I feel like I was at Stuart. What do you think? Was that not an answer?
That was great. That was great. I knew it was coming, too. That's why I was just like, all right, here we go. Anyways, Pader Ruan puts in €2, 3 times more pew pew pew. Yes.
Thanks, Super Cubes.
And Olivia Julius, $5. Prometheus also.
No, Stuart, you went away. What?
Oh, I was just reading Olivia Julius's fine super chat of $5. Prometheus also lost its original crew and was easily taken over by the Romulans, proving that it is a failure.
Well, no, it had like 13 people on board, and it was in Federation space. They had to actively go inside Federation space and like in the heart of it. And also, yeah, I didn't realize Reddit Media there's a teaser for the. Oh god, that Picard Plinkett is going to really be good. Wow, I didn't even realize it was an actual trailer. Jesus.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. John Holland, though, guys, I gotta say I have missed this so much over the last few weeks. I haven't been able to see the streams.
Oh.
Well, we're glad you're here, and thank you for saying that. It means a lot to us. So.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Jonathan Davies, £5. There's nothing wrong with marshmallow vanilla applesauce mode. Say what?
Okay.
And Tab Extra, 50 krona. But the amount of hull metals used on a single ship with 3 hulls must be a lot better than a single ship of the same size. Resources are inconsequential in the future because you can replicate that shit.
Well, not just that, but the ship has internal space. I mean, there's only one more set of wall, and it's to double side the separation planes. I mean, beyond that, they're just normal. I mean, it's just a full ship. Not much more. I mean, you're talking minimal amounts. But the ability in them is far worth that. I mean, but it's like, why would you build shuttle pods that can't warp? Why not just build shuttles that can warp? Because lots of things have different functions. Sometimes you need them for different things. That's why it's nice to see that by the end of TNG with lots of ships for different reasons. Why build the insurrection pod? Why not use a runabout? Because probably does something better than the runabout, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like shuttles with warp in a way, because shuttles are meant to shuttle people from a ship's surface to the ship, or a ship to whatever. We've even said it ourselves. The episode where Picard and Wesley are on the shuttle, they're going to be on it for 6 hours. How long does... Okay, this is what? Warp 6? Something like that? This max it can go? Something like stupid. How hard is it to fire up the Enterprise to warp 9 for 5 minutes to get you there, instead of throwing you in a shuttle and saying, here, piss off. It's going to take you however long to get there. Because warp is exponentially faster.
Yep.
So it's warp speed above what the shuttle can do.
Maybe he had an appointment in like 7 hours, and they were like, we could bring you now and then sit around for 7 hours, or sit in a shuttle feeling as if you're going somewhere. Yeah, those always felt weird to me. I mean, it could be seconds. Impulse is very slow. I mean, 7 hours is the same solar system sometimes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not fast. It would have been better if they'd just retconned that as being warp, because it would have been fine if it's like, I'll go warp 3. I mean, 7 hours warp 3, or 2 at warp whatever. But yeah, it seems weird. Especially as, you know, he's vulnerable for those many hours.
Yeah. As for Trekyards, shuttles in the year 3100 in season 3. Yes, because the Discovery has a shuttle bay full of them.
Discovery
so we will see them. But you mean like?
You mean
that's going to be the first ship they run into? I guarantee you. They're going to come out of their black hole warp thingy. And there's an incoming ship, sir. Put it on screen.
It's one of ours. No, it's not. It was built
That's
5 months ago.
That's a design I've never seen before.
The paint is blue. What? It's got 3 blinking engines. God, such a cop out. But speaking of COVID out, cop out, Admiral Saval, as a way of ending out the live, to about something real. Not that we ever like that too much, but yo, Sam and Stuart, how are you two holding up in the COVID-19 stay-at-home orders in the UK and Canada? So 197 people. Last chance to click like. We want 230. How you doing, Stuart?
Good. That's the exact same here as it is everywhere. Everybody's on lockdown, whether it be the UK, Canada, the United States. Everyone I've talked to worldwide is in lockdown. So it's the same here as it is there. Nobody's sick here that we know, luckily. So that's good. And just staying home, trying to do our thing. And it's not like it's any difference for Sam or me because we're always at home doing this anyway. So.
Although you said earlier, Toby said earlier about now you can't go out.
Now that I can't go out, I had the urge to go out. When I could go to the mall anytime, to the stores or whatever, when I was having a day where I was kind of depressed, I was like, no, I'd just rather stay home. Now that I can't go out or go to the restaurant, now I really, really want to. So, you don't know what you have until it's gone, and then you're like, God damn.
And the irony is that for Picard, I was doing so many hours of editing, I was eating way more chocolate and stuff to just as a treat to myself because I was just really burning myself out every week. And so I put on a very large amount of weight during that. It all go into more like gut, and luckily you can't see my gut. And so ironically, after Picard, I've now started bicycling to try and lose that weight, which means I've actually gone out more during the lockdown than I did during the 10 weeks of pre-lockdown. I do hour bike rides every day, pretty much, where I go all around the town. So I've actually been more outside and see more people abstract out than I did before. So it's the exact opposite for me.
Yeah, and I've been driving around in the Camaro. I mean, people say you shouldn't leave your house, but I mean, that's self-isolation. I go from the house to the car, drive around in the car, and come back to the house.
Yeah,
so
I mean, if you stand in front, if you stand in Central Park with no one around you, you're not going to get infected. You know what I mean? People give infection.
Just if you go to like the gas station, use the pump, or you touch a door handle, then you got to be wary because you touch your steering wheel.
Wash your hands is fine. Then it kills it. Yeah.
Just be aware of what's going on. You can still go out and walk around. I actually almost went for a walk the other night and started my walks again because it was actually not too bad a temperature, but then it started to rain. So, I'll be getting back to my walks again soon, hopefully at night. So,
and if you ever live them, you've got better camera now. See that'd be much higher quality.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it'll let you stabilize, but your phone should have a lot more better image stabilization. Not that you're that bad, you've got a lot better over the years, but I mean, if Skype lets you use it, that's going to be even better. But for me, I'm kind of happy that we're past the stage of the food hoarding. It was a reactionary step at the start by people, but now you can get toilet paper. I got pasta a couple of days ago. So yes, there's not everything, but I tend to eat fresh. I try to cook fresh, so I was able to get spring onions fresh every single time I went to get food. When I was like, oh my god, panic buying, and it's like I was able to get fresh meat. Was a little bit harder, but I got lucky most times. So yeah, I actually honestly my food didn't even change very much. Weirdly, in the big thing, because I eat fresh. Stuff that can last 4 days. Peeled bites can last a month, not 4 days, or 3 days, or 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's very long, simple question. We're doing good.
I mean, it is weird to be in this little box and yet be in a bigger box of the house and then in a bigger box. But I honestly think it's good for the environment and good for people's psyche a little bit. After you get over the shock to with family and to, there are bonuses if people choose to see them in a shitty situation. You know what I mean? It's like there are bonuses within the shit, but there are still things to be positive. It's glass half full, isn't it?
Yeah. And Jeff Jacobs for the last super chat, I guess. Mm-hmm. Somebody else wants the title of the last super chat, but anyway, for now it's Jeff.
It's true. Yeah, Jeff shouldn't. Yeah, Jeff can't get last super chat.
$5 though, like that's expensive for Jeff. He's kind of cheap.
Yeah. Oh.
Discovery Shuttle Bay has those transporter gates. # make Jeff pay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wonder if they closed the shuttle bay door to go through that time thing. Probably not.
I love how no one commented about my entire spiel or our talking. Like no one said anything about it.
Oh, there was a few. They were like,
Well, it's not about shovels.
Oh, shovel.
It's not talking about... Like, that was your ability to talk about stuff.
And Trumptard, great name. What do you guys think of that Patrick Stewart show? I don't know which one you're talking about. Patrick Stewart, who's that?
I think does it mean Blunt Talk, where he yells at people?
Maybe, I don't know. American Dad.
Oh,
there you go. Scripts cleared it up. That's a great show.
Yeah, he's very, very good in that.
Good Patrick Stewart show. Yep.
Yeah, so last Super Chat, guys. Thank you for joining. We definitely did great. Hey, we weren't necessarily sure what we were going to do today, but you guys jumped right in, got us some good change. We took all last week off, as a duo, and we saw our income drop by like 85% on some days. Not joking. But we got so much Saturday. You guys really came out in force on Saturday for our drunk live, which was amazing, and that allowed us to take the week off and doing these. We didn't film a single thing, which is rare for us actually for a week. But now we're back, and this was a really good first one. So thank you. Great number of viewers. Great whatever. And thanks so much for
that's right.
In.
So tune in Wednesday at the same time because we're going to be doing our review of Manhunt.
Oh,
which is the Loxana Troy episode of season 2 of TNG. It's episode 19. So if you guys want to watch it and join us for Wednesday for that, we will be back to our reviews, and we have 4 to do, and we're done the whole season. It's time for the Trekyards.
I do like that though. I like that a lot actually.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, check us out. We'll be live Wednesday and Friday this week. I might do one on my own on Tuesday or Thursday. We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, and I might. And who knows? I might grab the ambassador to come by and do one. Because if we have days that we know we're doing lives, then we can try and do like. So we could always do personal ones in between if we feel the inclination, etc., etc. Because I think people like a schedule. I like a schedule. I think it's a show, isn't it? It's a come join this show this week. But we filmed Saturday's video today. It's a Star Trek Online ship. So you saw classic TOS comic today. On Saturday.
Actually, I think the Saturday episode isn't going to be the one we filmed tomorrow with Resurrected Starships.
Yeah, one after. I think Stowe's fine.
Oh. Well, there you go. He's the editor. He gets to decide.
People have been asking for a Stowe for a while. We've had a lot of Stowe requests. So I think we'll throw out the Stowe one. Plus, there's more time to edit that one, so.
True enough.
Yeah.
But look forward to Resurrected Starship being on our show. I don't know if he's going to show his face. But you might see his face.
World exclusive!
All right, guys. I think that's it for us for tonight. So thank you for joining us. Come back Wednesday. Yeah. And we would look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah, nice gentle chat. So until then, he's Captain Foley.
And I'm Captain Foley.
And he is Captain Foley. Bye, guys.
And I'm the only one that matters, so I'm not going to say anybody else's name.
Bye, guys.